All right, good morning. Welcome to another ride with me to the gym. Today is a Tuesday, full body day per the usual. And on our full body days, or my full body day, the way it's designed by the program that I follow, each day has a little bit more of a bias, whether it's upper body or lower body, but you do hit some upper and lower body pieces in the same session. Today, Tuesday, full body, it's got more of an upper body bias. And what I want to talk to you about today is when you are following a program that has repetitive movements over a number of weeks and then potentially even over a number of months, I understand that that can get pretty monotonous. Some might even say boring. And a couple of things that I want to bring to the table here or clarify from just my observations with programs that I have followed, programs that I have observed over a decade in the fitness industry, and also programs that I write, because that's what I do and what I've really done for, again, over a decade in the fitness industry, is you can have a couple of different approaches, and I think that it's highly dependent on what works for the individual, or if you're programming like I do for large groups also, what seems to work for the overall avatar that you're programming for. There's one approach where you keep the movements exactly the same all the way through, let's say anywhere from a 4 to 8 week period. Some of your more advanced programs, I believe, would go more into like your 12 to 16 week. So you keep those movements primarily all exactly the same. You've got your same main compound movements, often being some sort of a squatting movement, some sort of a horizontal pressing movement, horizontal pushing or overhead, vertical pressing movement, some sort of a horizontal row, some sort of a hinge like a deadlift or hip thrust. I mean, you keep those movements pretty much the same, and then you keep your accessory stuff the same, your biceps, triceps, your delt work, your hamstrings, all that stuff. What we do primarily in those programs then is adjust the intensity. So you may start off further away from failure, where you're leaving 4, 5-ish, maybe even 6 reps in reserve, we call it. And then as the weeks progress, you build up those movements more and more. You build up more weight, potentially more reps. Another approach would be, let's say if it's something like an 8-week program, that you keep every movement the same for weeks 1 through 4, and then you make an adjustment weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8. You keep your main movements, so let's say like your squat, your overhead press, your deadlift, your big rowing movement, your bench press. You keep all that stuff the same weeks 5 through 8, but you adjust all of your accessory pieces. So let's say if you were doing like a lateral raise for the shoulders, you might sub that out with a single arm lateral raise. If you were doing hammer curls for biceps, you might sub that out and you may switch over to like a preacher curl where you have the palms up. There's so many different varieties and ways that you can program and still make sure that you keep some repetition in there, because the repetition, the repeating movements, is what allows you to experience progressive overload, which in a nutshell, progressive overload is the ability to be able to either load the movement heavier or do more reps over a period of time. Those are a couple of like the main ways that you can experience progressive overload. You program progressions into the movement. So you program to do more reps, you program to increase the intensity, and then by programming progressions in the program, you experience the progressive overload as a result of that. Sometimes you'll have folks that say like, hey, I program progressive overload. I'm of the opinion that you program the progressions. So you program the how you do the particular thing, and then the progressive overload is the what you experience after doing said things. So just wanted to talk about that as just a couple of different ways that you can approach programming. Some people are creatures of habit and really, really enjoy taking their time over a number of weeks and months to really be able to, as best as they can, like extract every piece of the movement and really every detail and feel like they've really mastered that particular movement. So they love repetition. There are others who prefer some variety. I tend to prefer a bit more variety after a while. So I prefer to follow more for myself the approach of every 4 weeks. I'm keeping my main movements the same for the most part, but every 4 weeks I'll switch off some of my accessory stuff. So that's what I'm actually going to get into now. So if you are watching this or listening to this, either before you're getting a lift in, maybe you're walking on the treadmill, before you get your workout in, I hope you have a solid workout, and let's go lift.